What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and welcome to 2015. I gotta say, this year I've been looking forward to. There is gonna be so much this year coming out in terms of technology. Not only smartphones, I'll get to that in a second, but the Apple Watch, games, movies, Jurassic World, Terminator Genesis. For games, I'm really looking forward to Uncharted 4, Mirror's Edge 2, Tom Clancy's The Division. There's a whole bunch of things, and 2015 is going to be a freaking awesome year, and I'm looking forward to it so much. Now, in terms of phones, that's also going to be a major step forward, and in 2015, there's going to be a ton to choose from, but I wanted to round up the top 10 smartphones we're looking forward to in 2015. Now, do keep in mind that these phones don't even exist yet, so it is kind of hard to provide details, so I will be keeping it a little bit light in this video. I don't have many details, obviously, because these phones don't even exist, but they are being worked on, of course, based on the previous generation of these phones. That we can't speculate that they will be coming out this year, and in this video I'll just give you a little bit of an overview based on what we expect to see in these phones in 2015. Now, none of these are in any kind of order, you know, like best or worst. They're just 10 phones that are coming out in 2015 that everybody is looking forward to. Now, the very first one is the iPhone 6s, and yes, we can expect it to be called the iPhone 6s based on all of the previous generations. It started with the iPhone 3G, it went to 3GS, then the 4, 4S, 5, 5S, and now the iPhone 6 will receive a 6S successor. Now, with this new iPhone, what we can expect is to see a bump in speed, camera, and battery life as usual. The form factor will most likely remain the same. Apple might make a little bit of tweaks for the internal structure, you know, to ease some people's minds based on the iPhone 6 Plus being bendable in the beginning, but there actually won't be any major revisions in the actual build quality. However, the internals with all the S models is where all the changes are at, and with the iPhone 6s, we could expect to see 2 gigs of RAM. Apple could possibly bring the iPad Air 2 processor over to the iPhone 6s because it has 3 billion transistors versus 2 billion on the iPhone 6 currently. The camera could see an increase to 10 to 12 megapixels, and the video optical image stabilizer, of course, will be available on all models probably. With every revision of a major iPhone change, we're going to see, you know, smaller changes like software, and iOS 8.2 or 8.3 could be standard with it. So this is the phone that I'm most excited about. Obviously, I run an Apple channel, but there are many Android phones coming out too that I'm actually really excited to see. So number 2 is the iPhone 6C. Now, with the iPhone 5C, Apple introduced a new phone that was cheaper, more affordable, and it still retained many of the main features that the iPhone 5S had. It was just a little bit watered down, and I think Apple's going to want to keep with that tradition. If they do remove the iPhone 6C from their lineup, then it's going to leave a hole for cheaper devices, and, you know, with a plastic build quality, the iPhone 6S will see a redesign, possibly a larger display like the current iPhone 6 at 4.7 inches. Of course, it will receive the iPhone 5S processor, so just one step up, a little bit more RAM possibly, and a camera increase as well. So nothing too major. Again, the iPhone 6C would be aimed at people that don't want to dish out the full amount for the iPhone 6S or iPhone 6, kind of like a little in between, but Apple has had a lot of success with the iPhone 5C, so I don't see why they would want to kill that device anytime soon. Now, next up is the iPhone 4-inch version that's been updated from the iPhone 5S. So it's been rumored that Apple is working on a new 4-inch iPhone, which will pretty much have all of the internals of the new 6S and iPhone 6s Plus. It'll be just as fast as them, just in a little bit smaller form factor at 4 inches. For all the people that like their smaller devices like the iPhone 5S, it does make sense for Apple to make a new 4-inch iPhone, you know, and have the same internals as all of the larger devices. When people have more of a choice, they're more likely to stay with Apple. If Apple is forcing people to upgrade to a larger display, then I could see a lot of people not being happy with that, so it definitely makes sense. Now, this new iPhone, like I said, it will feature all of the internals of the newer devices while retaining, you know, a smaller screen size. So that means that Apple next year could be releasing 3 new phones. Well, 4 actually. The iPhone 6s, iPhone 6s Plus, the iPhone 6C, and the new iPhone 4-inch model. That's a great lineup for 2015. Now, next is the Galaxy Note 5. And I gotta admit, with the Note 4, I was just blown away. That thing is incredibly powerful. The screen is amazing. It's on the next level. That thing is an amazing phone. And with the Note 5, it's going to have to fill some really deep shoes. I mean, it's rumored that it will have a 4K display, the very first one for Samsung on a smartphone. So it will be their, you know, official largest, best phone. You know, the amount of work that they put into it is going to be massive, and I'm really looking forward to what they can do with that one. Now, if it did have a 4K display, that would be 746 pixels per inch. That is just crazy. The iPhone 6 Plus, I think, has 401, so that's almost double the resolution of the iPhone 6 Plus. And it's rumored that the S Pen is going to receive some updates as well, so it's going to be the ultimate multitasking productivity machine. Now next is the Galaxy S6. Now this is Android's flagship model. It's the direct competitor of the iPhone models, and every year Samsung just wants to top Apple. Now this year, what they're planning to do, or rumored, is that they're going to enclose the new Galaxy S6 in aluminum. Now, like the Note 4, it received an aluminum band around the whole phone, and it did wonders. A lot of people thought the build quality was a lot better. They did like it. And with the Galaxy S6 and the higher build quality, it's going to be a better long-term device, because I know a lot of people with S5s and S4s, the board their chips, and it gets really annoying if you don't take care of it well. Now, along with different materials, it could see an increase to 3 gigabytes of RAM and a 64-bit processor, which would be the first in the Galaxy series. So those would be all welcome additions, and it will launch with Android Lollipop. Now this one I actually really like. It's the Galaxy Note Edge. And it's already been announced. There's already a release date, so there's not much speculation here, but the Galaxy Note Edge is basically taking the internals of the Galaxy Note 4 and putting them on a device, exactly the same size, just with a slightly curved display that goes towards the edge of the phone. Now with that extra screen size, what Samsung is doing is adding a new way to see notifications on your phone. So with some cases that they did actually have mock-ups for, you could see the notifications a little bit better on the side. Now, I don't know if it's just a tacky feature, if it could be useful in the future and be seen on all models in the future. I don't know, maybe, but it's an interesting concept for sure. It's always interesting when they do something different. LG was one of those manufacturers that did something different. They had that curved display, so that was pretty cool. And then 3D displays were incredibly tacky. We know that now a few years later. Nobody really bought that many of them, so I wonder if this is going to fade into obscurity or if it's going to be a feature that's going to be seen on all devices. Either way, it is an exciting device. Next is the HTC One M9. This is an incredibly popular series from HTC, and why would they mess with perfection? So this year for the HTC M9, it's still going to have that gorgeous aluminum enclosure. The internals is where HTC is going to modify the phone. Now inside we can of course expect to see more power, better battery life, and possibly a better display, but HTC M8 is always going to be one of those phones that did very well, and the M9 is just going to improve upon that, hopefully. There's really not many details on the phone available right now, so I can't share too much with you, but of course that phone is coming and we will see it towards the end of 2015. Next is Google's Project Ara, and a phone like this we really haven't seen ever. The concept for it, it's just incredible. And I'm really happy that Google is doing it. Now, they bought the rights from Motorola. It was originally Motorola's thing, but it's possible that it will be seen in 2015. That's not completely sure, but I have heard a lot of rumors that it will be released towards the end of 2015. Basically, it's a phone with assemblable pieces. If you want a bigger battery life, take off that NFC chip. If you don't want it, put on a bigger battery, camera, same thing. If you want a better camera, replace it. So this thing will be forever upgradable. You're not just limited to what you buy out of the box. Like with Apple, you're stuck with one unit of memory. You can upgrade it, remove features, add features. It's really damn cool. And I actually really want to see this thing in person, because that is the future right there. Next is the LG G4. Now, side note real quick, I just want to mention that I kind of regret not covering the G3 on my channel from last year, because the phone is incredible. It's actually one of the best displays I've ever seen on any phone, and the G4 is just going to improve upon that. Now, a lot of people were saying it's a mammoth phone, so it's going to be shrunk a little bit. The display will now be 5.3 inches, and we're going to see a 20.7 megapixel sensor on the back. That's pretty crazy. I mean, nowhere near Nokia's 40-something megapixel sensor, but it's still good to see the numbers being bumped up slowly along with actual camera quality. Now, the battery life from the G3 was something a lot of people complained about. Of course, that's a department where LG is going to work on with a G4. And for number 10, the Google new Nexus 6. Because the name Nexus 6 was already taken, they're going to just say new Nexus 6. Anyways, it's just going to see, the usual yearly progression. Now, it would be nice to see it as a non-contract device again. Kind of don't like how they limited it. You have to pay way more for it now, but of course you're getting better features, nicer technology inside of it. There's really not much known about it right now currently, but based on the Nexus 6 that's out right now, it's going to be an impressive device, because the Nexus 6 right now is, for the price and for the amount of features it has, a really nice device, and I could just see it working on that in 2015. Anyways, guys, so that is the top 10 smartphones of 2015. I'm so excited. There's so much to be excited about this year, especially smartphones, and I'm going to be covering all of them on my channel, so make sure to stay tuned for all of that, guys. Super excited about all of that. And I know a lot of people say, every year that we're just seeing the same things recycled in phones. But really, if you look at some of these phones, there's some pretty neat ideas out there, and each company could take a little bit away from each other, especially with Google's Project Aura. That is so cool. The ability to truly customize your device, not just remove a micro SD card or battery, but remove any aspect of the phone and replace it with a better, or just remove it completely, you know, a different part. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope you guys are looking forward to 2015 as much as I am, because I'm really excited for it. Have a great day, guys. Have a great year. Peace.